Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Freezimer Countertop ice maker. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's go ahead and get this open. So this is a portable countertop ice maker. So this would work great in a kitchen, bar area, RV, maybe an enclosed porch or patio, like kind of a pool area, anywhere you're entertaining people. So this has a compressor in it just like a refrigerator or a humidifier or air conditioner. And typically you want devices like that to be sat up for a couple hours before you use them because there's oil in them and the oil can get out of the compressor itself. So you do want to consider that with this. And it may say that in the instructions somewhere. And here's the manual. So I'm not going to go over everything here, so you'll want to read through it. It has lots of safety instructions. And if we look here, it says do not overturn the ice maker. If the ice maker is overturned accidentally, make it stand steadily for 2 hours before you power it on again. Here's a description. Here's the control panel operation. So this makes two different sizes of ice cubes, small and large, and it has an indicator light for that. You press select to change between the two. It has a power clean button, so you use that to turn it on or off, and you hold it down for 3 seconds to enter the cleaning mode. It has a water sensor, so it tells you when you need to add water, and it has a light when the ice basket is full. So this talks about what to do before first use. So you'll want to read through all that. It talks about cleaning the ice maker. So you want to make sure the drain plug is in place. You plug it into the wall. You open the top lid and remove the ice basket. You fill the water reservoir. You don't want to fill above max. Put the basket back in place, select which size ice you want, and it will start making ice. It says the ice cycle will last approximately 8 minutes depending on the ambient temperature and water temperature. So this here describes the process. It will start making ice. When the basket's full, it will light up here. It will also light up when you need to add water. You can turn it off by pressing the power button. You can open the top lid and transfer the ice to a freezer. It says allow the ice maker to, I think that's supposed to be warm up to room temperature. They suggest replacing the water every month. Please empty the water reservoir if the ice maker is not used for a long time. So if you're using this on a regular basis, you want to replace the water every once in a while. If you're using it intermittently, you'll want to make sure you empty the water. This talks about cleaning and maintenance and troubleshooting. And here are the specs. The daily ice output is 27 pounds in 24 hours. The ice storage capacity is 1.59 quarts or 600 grams. The refrigerant is R600A. The water tank capacity is 1.56 quarts. Voltage is 120. Power consumption is 120 watts. And we have the dimensions there and the weight. Okay, so let's get this out. I'm going to take the box down so I can lift it out and put it on my bench. So I found it easiest to grip out of the box by the styrofoam. You do want to be careful in case the styrofoam cracks. So I'll remove the packing tape here. So on the front, it has a label for Freezimer. We turn to the side. We have an outlet or an intake, and same on the back. We have the power cord coming out of the back. And it's blank on this side. Let me see if I can get to the bottom here. Here we have the drain, so you'll pull that out to drain it. So I'll open this up, take the basket out. So there's a scoop in the basket. It was taped to the basket. I untaped that. And then there's a piece of tape back here I'll need to take off. And I think that is all the tape. When I look at the plug down at the bottom, it wasn't completely seated, so I pressed that all the way in so water doesn't leak out. But aside from that, I think it's ready to go. So I'm going to plug this in. I'll open this up and I'll pour water in here. So I have some clean, fresh drinking water. So this pitcher holds about a half gallon of water, so it used about this much of it. So as the spec said, it's 1.59 quarts, but I just wanted to be able to visualize that for people. So I'll put the tray in. I'll take the scoop out. Let's check out the controls here. We can hit power to turn it on. So that's on, and then we can hit select to change the ice we want. So this light is making it hard to see, but right now it's on small. If I press it again, it will change it to large. So if we look inside, we can see this is cycling water through here. So it filled up the little tank in the back, and it's making the ice cubes on here. And then when it's finished, it will put them in this bucket. So I'll close this. So the way this works is it makes ice, puts it in the bucket, makes more ice, puts it in the bucket. And there are two ways you can use this. One is when the bucket's full, you could empty it and put it in a freezer and keep it. Another way is like if you're at a party, you could have your scoop sit next to it and people could scoop ice into their drinks. And as you use up that ice, the machine will replenish it. So this does not refrigerate the ice. Aside from it being ice and this being insulated, the ice will eventually melt and turn back into water and recycle through the system. Now the nice thing about this is the ice won't get clumped together. So when when you go up to scoop it out, it should mostly be in separate pieces that you can put in your drink. Now, if you take this out and put it in the freezer, it might kind of freeze together. Usually that's common when you have bagged ice and you just hit it a couple times against a surface and it will break into the smaller pieces. So I'm going to let this cycle until the ice comes out and then we'll take a look at it. And I think I can remove this label here too. Okay, so that took about 9.5 minutes for that to run. And there's the cube that came out of it. So now I'll switch this to large. We'll run some large cubes. And there's also a protective film here I can peel off. So I'll pull that off. So the more this runs, the cooler it will get in here and the faster it will make ice. I do have this plugged into my power meter and it's currently drawing 115 watts. So this could easily be powered with a portable power station. So I'm going to cut to the future where the large ice is finished and we'll take a look at it. So if we look inside here, we can see how the ice is forming. Okay, so here we have one of each size ice cube. Here's the small and here's the large. So you can see the size difference here. So I really like that you can change the ice cube size depending on your preference. Now if you're making ice to go in a cooler, you'll probably want the larger size. If you want to cool down your drink quickly, you might want that smaller size. So I'm going to let this run and I'll let the tray fill up and then I'll come back and check on it in a bit. Okay, so this has been running a little bit. So we'll open it up and you can see the basket here is probably a little over half full of ice. So we have our little scoop here. We could scoop ice out into our drinks, and this will continue to run and replenish that ice. Now at some point in time, the add water light will come on, and we can take the basket out and pour some water in to refill it. So I've been filming this on my bench. I'm going to move this to a countertop so we can see what it would look like in actual usage. Okay, so I wanted to show this on a countertop, and I thought what better place than in my camper. So here it's on my camper countertop. You can see it fits on here very nicely. It would even fit on a smaller countertop. Now for power, it's plugged into this outlet here. And this is an inverter outlet. So this is actually running off the battery and the battery is charged with solar. So we're currently making ice with solar power. So if I want to take this camping, I can pull this out on the counter when I want to make ice. And if I want to store it, I could easily store it down in one of these storage bays. That's just one of the locations I can store it. There's many others in this camper. So this is a great way to get ice in your camper. If I were to try to use ice cube trays in the camper fridge, it would take forever, especially if I wanted to continuously make ice. This is the much better option. And while I'm running this off the inverter, most of the time we go camping, we'll be plugged into power, so I'll have as much power as I need. So that's the Freezimer Countertop Ice Maker. I like how easy it was to set this up and how easy it is to use. So if you're entertaining, you just have to get this out, plug it in, pour some water in, hit the button, and let it do its job. As people use the ice, it will continue making the ice, and then you can check on it a few times to make sure the add water light's not on and replenish the water if needed. This also has the cleaning feature, so you can hold the power button down for 3 seconds, it'll automatically clean itself. I like that. And then when you're done using it, you could just set this on the side of a sink, pop that drain out, and drain the water out. So that usage might be used if you're entertaining or if you have a bar area or something. Also, if you're going on a camping trip or road trip, you can make some ice ahead of time, put it in some bags, store it in the freezer, and then you don't have to go buy bagged ice. What I would probably do is if you're done entertaining, take whatever ice is left over, throw it in the freezer. That way you have it for a future use. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.